Listen carefully. Nobody is coming to save you. You've wasted enough time doubting yourself, scrolling, watching others win while you sit still. That ends now. You have value, but only if you act like it. Discipline is your weapon. Focus is your path. Cut the noise, cut the excuses, and build something real. Every second matters. Every move counts. Respect yourself enough to demand more. Because if you don't, the world will use you and forget you. Take full responsibility for your life means you stop blaming people, circumstances, or bad luck for where you are. No more pointing fingers at your past, your family, your environment, or the system. You look in the mirror and accept that every result you have right now is connected to your actions, your mindset, and your decisions. That realization is not weakness, it is power. Because the moment you own everything, you gain control over everything. You are no longer a victim of life, you become the one shaping it. When you take responsibility, excuses lose their place. You don't say, I didn't have time. You admit you didn't make time. You don't say, I can't do it. You recognize you haven't pushed hard enough yet. This shift is uncomfortable, but it builds strength. Weak people protect their ego with excuses. Strong people build their future with accountability. You either face the truth or you stay stuck repeating the same patterns again and again. Responsibility also means discipline in your daily actions. You wake up and do what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. You don't wait for motivation because motivation is unreliable. You rely on structure, habits, and standards. If something in your life is not working, you don't complain, you adjust, you learn new skills, you fix your routine, you improve your thinking. Every problem becomes a task to solve, not a burden to carry. It also changes how you see failure. Instead of blaming outside forces, you study your mistakes. You ask yourself what you could have done better, what you missed, where you were weak. That mindset turns every loss into progress. You stop fearing failure because you know it's part of growth. People who avoid responsibility fear failure. People who embrace responsibility use it. Taking responsibility forces you to become sharper, more aware, and more intentional. You stop drifting through life and start making calculated moves. Your time becomes valuable, your energy becomes focused, and your standards rise. You don't accept average results because you know you are capable of more. You demand more from yourself every single day. It also builds respect, both from yourself and from others. When you handle your responsibilities, when you don't make excuses, when you show consistency, people notice. More importantly, you notice. Your confidence grows because it's built on proof, not empty words. You know you can rely on yourself because you've trained yourself to act no matter what. At the highest level, taking full responsibility means understanding that your future is entirely in your hands. Every choice you make today is shaping who you become tomorrow. You are either building discipline or feeding weakness, creating opportunity or wasting it. There is no neutral ground. Every action is a vote for the person you are becoming. Eliminate distractions completely means you stop letting useless things steal your focus, your energy, and your potential. Distractions are not harmless. They are silent destroyers. Every time you check your phone without purpose, scroll endlessly, or give attention to things that don't move your life forward, you are trading your future for comfort. That trade is never worth it. You need to understand that focus is a limited resource, and where you place it determines the results you get. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they lack concentration. They start something, then get pulled away. They plan, then delay. They try, then quit halfway, because something easier grabs their attention. If you want to be different, you have to build the ability to stay locked in. That means cutting out anything that breaks your momentum. Not reducing distractions, eliminating them. You control your environment or your environment controls you. If your phone is full of noise, turn it off or remove what doesn't serve you. If people around you waste time and energy, limit access. If your habits are weak, replace them with structured routines. This is not extreme. This is necessary. You can't build a strong life in a weak environment. Every distraction you tolerate is a sign that you are not serious enough about your goals. Eliminating distractions also requires mental discipline. Even in silence, your mind will try to escape effort. It will look for easy pleasure, shortcuts, or reasons to stop. You have to train yourself to ignore that voice. Stay with the task. Stay uncomfortable. Stay focused even when it feels boring or difficult. That's where real progress is made. The ability to concentrate deeply for long periods is a rare skill, and it separates average people from those who actually achieve something. Time becomes sharper when distractions disappear. You get more done in one focused hour than most people do in an entire day of scattered attention. Your work improves, your thinking becomes clearer, and your results start to show. You stop feeling busy and start being productive. There's a difference, and it's defined by your ability to remove what doesn't matter. You also begin to value silence and control. You don't need constant stimulation. You don't need validation, entertainment, or noise to feel comfortable. You become self-contained, focused, and intentional. That mindset gives you an edge because while others are chasing distractions, you are building momentum. At the highest level, eliminating distractions is about respecting your own potential. You understand that your goals require full attention, not leftovers. You don't negotiate with weakness, you remove it. Every moment you protect your focus, you invest in your future. Every distraction you cut off, you get closer to the life you are trying to build. Build ruthless discipline. Daily means you stop relying on how you feel and start operating on what must be done. Feelings are unstable. They change every hour, every minute. Discipline is fixed. It doesn't care if you're tired, bored, or unmotivated. It demands action regardless. If you only act when you feel good, you will always stay average. If you act no matter what, you become dangerous. Ruthless discipline starts with non-negotiables. You decide what must happen every single day, and you do it without question. No debate, no delay, no excuses. Whether it's waking up early, training, working, or improving your skills, it gets done. You don't ask yourself, do I feel like it? You tell yourself, this is who I am. That identity shift is everything. You are not someone trying to be disciplined. You are someone who is disciplined. It also means being strict with your time and energy. You don't waste hours on meaningless activities and then complain about lack of progress. You track what you do, you stay aware, and you correct yourself immediately when you slip. One mistake doesn't break you, but repeated laziness does. Ruthless discipline means catching weakness early and shutting it down before it grows. There will be resistance every day. Your mind will look for comfort, shortcuts, and easy options. It will try to convince you that skipping one task doesn't matter. That's the test. Discipline is built in those moments when you choose effort over comfort. Every time you win that battle, you become stronger. Every time you lose, you reinforce weakness. There is no neutral outcome. Consistency is where discipline becomes powerful. Anyone can work hard for one day. Very few can do it every day. Ruthless discipline is not about intensity for a short time. It's about sustained effort over long periods. You show up again and again, even when results are slow, even when no one is watching. That repetition builds skill, confidence, and momentum that others can't match. You also become more in control of yourself. Your actions are no longer random or emotional. You decide, then you execute. That level of control creates confidence because you trust yourself to follow through. You don't make promises you can't keep, and you don't break the ones you make. That internal trust is more valuable than anything external. Discipline also sharpens your standards. You stop accepting weak performance from yourself. You correct mistakes, improve your approach, and push for better results every time. You don't settle because you know what you're capable of. That mindset keeps you growing while others stay stuck, repeating the same patterns. At the highest level, building ruthless discipline daily means you become unstoppable in your own lane. Not because you are perfect, but because you are consistent, controlled, and committed. While others wait for the right moment, you create it through action. While others hesitate, you move forward. Every disciplined day stacks on the next, building a version of you that is focused, reliable, and built for results. Value your time like money means you stop treating your hours like they are endless and start seeing them as your most valuable asset. Money can be lost and earned again, but time once spent is gone forever. Every minute you waste is something you will never get back. When you truly understand that, your behavior changes. You stop being careless with your day and start being intentional with every action you take. Most people spend money carefully but waste time freely. They think twice before spending cash, but they will scroll for hours, delay important work, and give their attention to things that have no return. That mindset keeps them stuck. If you treated your time like your bank account, you would question every decision. You would ask yourself, is this worth it? Before giving even a few minutes away. Valuing your time also means setting priorities. Not everything deserves your attention. You focus on what actually moves your life forward, your work, your goals, your growth. You cut out activities that give short-term pleasure but no long-term benefit. This doesn't mean you never relax. It means even your rest is controlled and intentional, not endless and careless. It also forces you to become efficient. You don't drag tasks out longer than necessary. You don't procrastinate and let simple things consume your entire day. You move with purpose. You plan, you execute, and you finish. That speed and clarity give you an advantage, because while others waste hours, you stack results. When you value your time, you also become more selective with people. You don't allow anyone to waste your energy with negativity, drama, or pointless conversations. You respect your own schedule enough to protect it. That doesn't make you rude, it makes you focused. The people who understand growth will respect it, and the ones who don't were never aligned with your path anyway. This mindset builds urgency. Not panic, but awareness. You understand that your life is limited and every day matters. That awareness pushes you to act now instead of waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There is only the time you choose to use and the time you choose to waste. You also start measuring your life differently. Instead of counting days, you count progress. Instead of asking how long something takes, you ask what it produces. Your standards rise because you know your time deserves strong results. You stop settling for low-value actions and start demanding high returns from yourself. At the highest level, valuing your time like money means you become protective of your future. Every hour becomes an investment. Every focused effort builds something. You are no longer just passing time. You are using it as a tool to create the life you want. While others spend their days without thinking, you operate with precision. Knowing that time is the one resource that decides everything. Stop seeking validation from others means you stop depending on external approval to feel confident, worthy, or capable. Most people live controlled by opinions. They adjust their actions, their goals, even their identity just to be accepted. That is weakness. The moment your self-worth depends on others, you lose control of your own life. You start performing instead of building, pleasing instead of progressing. Vulvalation is addictive. A compliment, a like, someone's approval. It feels good, but it's temporary. The problem is, once you depend on it, you constantly chase it. You hesitate to take risks because you're afraid of judgment. You avoid failure because it might make you look bad. That fear traps you in a small, safe version of life where nothing meaningful happens. When you stop seeking validation, you become independent. You make decisions based on logic, goals, and standards, not emotions tied to other people's reactions. You don't need everyone to agree with you. You don't need applause to keep going. You understand that most people don't know what they're doing anyway, so their opinions hold no real value over your direction. It also builds real confidence, not fake confidence that comes from praise, but solid confidence that comes from action. You trust yourself because you've proven to yourself that you can execute. That kind of confidence doesn't disappear when someone criticizes you. It stays because it's built on results, not words. You also become more honest with yourself. When you're not trying to impress anyone, you stop pretending. You see your strengths clearly, but you also face your weaknesses without denial. That honesty allows you to improve faster. You're not protecting an image, you're building a reality. People will judge you no matter what you do. If you succeed, they'll question it. If you fail, they'll criticize it. So, trying to please everyone is a losing game. The strongest move is to accept that judgment is unavoidable and act anyway. You focus on your path and let others think what they want. Their opinions don't change your mission. This mindset also frees your energy. Instead of wasting time thinking about what others might say, you use that energy to work, learn, and improve. You move faster because you're not mentally held back by doubt created by outside voices. Your focus stays on what matters. You also start setting your own standards. You don't measure success by how others see you. You measure it by your own growth and progress. That gives you control because your satisfaction is no longer dependent on something unstable. You decide what winning looks like, and you chase that relentlessly. At the highest level, stopping the need for validation means you become self-directed. You don't follow the crowd, you don't wait for approval, and you don't slow down for opinions. You move based on your vision, your discipline, and your goals. While others are busy trying to be accepted, so you are busy building something real, something that doesn't need permission to exist. Push beyond comfort and excuses means you stop choosing what feels easy and start choosing what builds you. Comfort is a trap. It feels safe, but it keeps you exactly where you are. The longer you stay in it, the weaker you become. Growth only happens when you step into resistance, when you do things that challenge you, test you, and force you to adapt. Excuses are the shield people use to protect that comfort. I'm tired. I'll start tomorrow. It's too hard. These are not real barriers. They are decisions disguised as reasons. Every excuse you accept trains your mind to quit. Every time you give in, you reinforce weakness. You have to see excuses for what they are. An escape from effort. Living beyond comfort starts with awareness. You notice when something feels difficult or inconvenient, and instead of avoiding it, you lean into it. That's where the shift happens. The moment you choose effort over ease, you break the pattern. You prove to yourself that you are in control, not your feelings. There will always be resistance. Your mind will try to negotiate with you, offering easier options, telling you to slow down, to take a break, to wait for a better time. That voice doesn't disappear, but you learn to ignore it. You act anyway. Discipline is not about removing discomfort, it's about moving through it without hesitation. You also start raising your tolerance for pressure. What once felt hard becomes normal. What once made you stop no longer affects you. That's how strength is built, by repeatedly facing difficulty until it loses its power over you. Each time you push past your limits, you expand them. Excuses also disappear when you take full ownership. You stop blaming situations, people, or timing. You focus on what you can control and you act on it. Even if conditions aren't perfect, you move forward. Waiting for perfect conditions is just another excuse that keeps you stuck. This mindset creates momentum. Action leads to progress. Progress builds confidence, and confidence drives more action. It's a cycle, and it starts the moment you decide to stop avoiding discomfort. While others hesitate, you move. While others complain, you execute. You also gain respect for yourself. Not because things are easy, but because you know you can handle hard situations. That self-respect is earned through effort, not given through words. It stays with you because it's built on real experiences. At the highest level, pushing beyond comfort and excuses means you become relentless. You don't wait for motivation, you don't listen to weakness, and you don't stop when things get hard. You keep going because you understand that everything you want is on the other side of effort. While others stay comfortable and unchanged, you step forward into difficulty and come out stronger every time. Act now. No delays, no hesitation means you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start moving immediately. Most people spend their lives planning, thinking, and overanalyzing but never executing. They wait until they feel ready, until conditions are ideal, until everything is certain. That moment never comes. The longer you wait, the weaker your drive becomes. Action is what creates clarity, not thinking. Hesitation is a silent killer. It turns simple decisions into missed opportunities. You start questioning yourself, doubting your ability, imagining worst-case scenarios. That mental loop drains your energy before you even begin. The truth is, you don't need more time to think. You need to act. Once you move, you learn, you adjust, and you improve. Staying still guarantees failure. Acting now builds momentum. Even small actions create progress, and progress fuels confidence. When you delay, you break that momentum before it even starts. You fall into a cycle of procrastination, where everything feels heavier and harder than it actually is. Taking action immediately breaks that cycle. It shifts you from thinking mode into execution mode. There will never be a perfect plan. Waiting for perfection is just another excuse disguised as intelligence. You don't need perfect, you need progress. Start with what you have, where you are, and improve along the way. Every successful person moves before they feel fully prepared. That's how they get ahead. They don't waste time waiting. Acting without hesitation also strengthens your decision-making. You trust yourself more because you don't second-guess every move. You decide, then you commit. That level of decisiveness gives you an edge because while others are stuck analyzing, you are already learning through action. Speed matters, not reckless speed, but controlled, confident execution. It also eliminates fear over time. Fear grows in delay. The longer you think about something, the bigger it becomes in your mind. When you act quickly, you don't give fear the chance to expand. You face it directly and realize it was never as powerful as you imagined. That experience builds courage for the next challenge. This mindset also increases your productivity. You stop wasting hours on things that don't matter and start completing tasks efficiently. You don't carry unfinished work in your mind because you handle it immediately. That creates mental clarity and frees up energy for bigger goals. You also begin to separate yourself from average behavior. Most people delay, hesitate, and procrastinate. When you act instantly, you operate at a different level. You become someone who gets things done, someone who doesn't talk but executes. That reputation, both internally and externally, becomes powerful. At the highest level, acting now means you take control of time instead of letting it control you. You don't let opportunities pass, you don't let ideas fade, and you don't let fear decide your actions. You move with urgency and purpose, knowing that every second counts. While others wait for the right moment, you create it through action and keep moving forward without pause.